Hey! Alright, so if you've been following along, you know last time I built this thing. There's a name for it, and I think it's rickshaw, but I'm probably wrong. I really don't know if I have anything to pull this with. Like, I've got the Trailmaster, but it's probably not big enough. The 140 pit bike, still not big enough. And the dual 212 Yerf dog needs 2 new motors. So I got to looking around and thought maybe there's something that I can get running real quick. I think I might have the answer. So this is my Chinese 250 quad. It's air cooled, and I'll be totally honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about it. I know it's got a leak right here on the side case, and I have been trying to find the gasket for it, and I cannot find it. So I'm gonna resort to some different methods. I know it needs a battery. I know it's got compression. John has seen it, and he had mentioned possibly recovering this seat. I agree with him because this seat bugs me. I don't like this. I don't like the flames. It's aggravating the piss out of me every time I see it. I had another Chinese 250 quad a while back, and that thing was a beast. So I'm hoping this lives up to the hype. Let's get after it. Now, the guy I bought this from did tell me he had taken this off and tried to seal it himself. Looks like it didn't go well. So I'm gonna start taking these bolts out, start cleaning up this inside. First, I'm gonna hit this with some compressed air and get all the debris away from it. Y'all ain't gonna like me for this one. Red RTV silicone. Everybody says, hey, don't use this on side covers. Guess what? I'm using it on a side cover. I've done it before. It'll be okay. Well, the housing's not cracked, so that's good. When he put in all this gasket maker, he didn't take the old gasket off, and it looked like it was in pretty bad shape before he started. So, yeah, this thing looks like black RTV, and it just looks like he missed some spots. I mean, it happens. But the housing's in good shape, so I'm just gonna get this cleaned up, get that side cleaned up. Then I'll run a fresh bead of RTV all the way around here, put the cover back on and finger tighten it, let it set for a little bit, and then torque it down. Then we'll be able to test in about 24 hours to see if this thing's gonna hold oil or not. So y'all wanna watch me scrape gaskets? No? Alright. Alright, so I got all that cleaned up, and I got some RTV on this side case. And we're gonna see if we can't get it in here without making a gigantic mess. And line it up. There we go. Alright, so just following up on our gasket, I have put oil in it. This actually sat for the entire weekend with oil in it and no leaks. We were actually gone to Bristol for Cletus and Cars at Bristol Motor Speedway. That was a blast. We'll have a different video for that. But this, no leaks. I think this is going to work just fine. We really won't know until we actually get to test it, you know, heating up the motor and all that. But so far so good. I'm happy with it. We're going to keep moving. I want to see if this thing's going to run. I don't have another coil on hand, so I may have to order one. I'm hoping this one works. But I'm going to put this exhaust back on, replace the exhaust studs because the old ones were just gross. And we're going to see if we can get this thing to fire. Now, unfortunately, just found out that the starter solenoid on this thing is bad, so I don't have another one. But I'm going to do the screwdriver thing. I'm not going to put it on camera. But I'm going to see if we can't get this thing to turn over. And we got spark. But I'm really curious to see if this thing is going to fire. I just want to hear and see if it's actually going to run. So I'm going to spray some starting fluid in it and just see what happens. There it is. I can't believe it runs. That right there gives me hope. It actually sounded good for that little bit of time it ran. It actually sounded healthy. So, alright, it's official. I'm stoked. I can't wait to see what this thing does. Well, I have gone through this thing, and it needs some stuff. It needs a carburetor. It needs a coil. It needs a starter solenoid, and it needs a battery. And I have none of those things. All the carburetors that I have are too small. I don't have a battery at all. I don't have the coil, and I don't have the starter solenoid. It also needs tires. The ones that are on it would probably work, but they're really dry rotted, and I don't trust them. So, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and order all that stuff. I looked into it. The parts are not expensive on these things, which is awesome. A few days, I'll have those in, and I'll slap those on. But for right now, that's where we sit. I'm not gonna make y'all wait. But it did run, so that's a start. But if you haven't already, you can like and subscribe. Make sure you use the links in the description to pick up a t-shirt from Mini Bike Apparel or a Rattle Can Customs t-shirt from Stubborn Customs. And until next time, y'all get up, get out there, and get after it.